Hey guys, welcome back. This is my second video for today. But as I talked about earlier, I'm not doing Abraham Lincoln yet, okay? But as I talked about earlier on my Instagram, make sure you follow my Instagram if you want updates and stuff like that about what type of videos I'm thinking about doing. But anyway, so as I talked about on my Instagram, I was going to take a look into the past life energy of Joseph R. Biden. I don't know what the R stands for, but you get the point. So yeah, we're going to take a look into his past life. It's fitting because I did do a past life reading on Donald Trump. So if you want to take a look or you want to listen to that past life reading, just scroll through my videos and that video will be there for you. Okay. Now, of course, this is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is fact unless it's been put on paper that it is fact. Otherwise, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So definitely just take it with a grain of salt or just pretend to not listen, but listen. Okay, so I'm going to turn this light off because for some reason I have to do it in the dark. Kind of the dark. Oh, you guys can still see it, but it's dark for a reason. Okay, so that's why I said you're just going to have to listen. All right. Anyway, so let's take a look. His totem may be a snake. Okay, now I'm getting Norfolk, Virginia. So this could definitely be where his family is from, his ancestors are from, unless he used to live in Norfolk, Virginia at one point. Okay, yeah, it's giving me like some sort of a governor in the past life of Norfolk, Virginia, or whatever the position title would have been way back. Then I feel like he occupied it in some type of a manner. Okay. Now I'm getting something tied to, like, it looks like ashes, almost like it's almost like someone being cremated. So I mean, I don't know if it's trying to allude and say there's been a lot of death or cremations under his watch, or there was at some point. But I literally see like the oven that you open, cast iron door. Okay, of course it's like rectangle-ish, ovalish type of shape, and like the color of the ashes is kind of just like it's like a gray, but for some reason it's almost coming across like the ashes are kind of like glowing in a way, like a golden type of color. Now I'm getting something about a male boy. So this may be an energy here for him where he's always the messenger, never the one sending the message. But yeah, Norfolk, Virginia, 1798 is ringing very strong to me. So I'm not sure what was going on during that time of 1798, which would have been very, very early on, whenever the United States declared independence or whatever the hell. So yeah, I mean, that's interesting. But the mailman thing is kind of interesting as well, because like I said, it's the energy here of him always delivering the message, never the one sending, like never the one where the message originates from. It's like it comes across like an errand boy. That's the type of energy that is giving me. Even though with that energy I've picked up tied to his past life of him holding some type of position in terms of governing over people, but that this also could be a symbol in terms of that's as far as he should have went. Governor. That's it. That's all. Okay. So anyway, first card out. Oh, male, female. Okay. So there could definitely be feminine tendencies, feminine energies here. I immediately went to the prostate, but also like, I mean, I have terrible posture, but the energy that's coming through is like some sort of a hump in his back. I don't know exactly what that would be called, but that is coming through as well. And also with this male-female energy, it gives me a strong uncertainty about himself. This is past life. So it's almost like, am I gay? Am I not? I have a strong feeling that he was actually a female in one of his past lives. Of course, you know, people can live more than one past life. Okay. So in one of his other past lives, he could have definitely been that governor. But then we have this other one that's coming through first is in regards to him being a female. I'm getting like a strong Veronica. I mean, a Veronica now, or at some point, you know, during this present life may have made some sort of impact on him. And if that was the case, it's because there's a past life connection to him in this person. And now I'm also getting like a Thomas. So this feels like a last name. Like, you know, when you're doing someone's ancestry, the last name Thomas, for some reason, I'm getting is tied to him in some type of manner. I don't know how far back that goes, but, you know, it did come through. I'm going to get another card, Milfy. Yep, see, it's weird. I said I was picking up something tied to prostate. But definitely a lot of health problems, even in his past life. That's also where the unfinished business comes from, because it's a matter of not being able to fulfill your life fully because of health issues holding you back. I don't know how you say it properly. Is it Alzheimer's? That's coming through. That may be something that's affecting him right now. But also, I'm getting schizophrenia. And also, there's this fear tied to ghosts or the paranormal or something whenever it pertains to like the nighttime, that even it likely could bother him now, but definitely bother him in the past life. Because I don't know why now it's taking me to something tied to a psychiatric hospital. But again, this could definitely be just a past life. I don't know what could have possibly happened during this lifetime, but it's definitely coming through. But in the psychiatric hospital, it's totally giving me a woman, definitely dressed in white, brunette type of hair, but it's kind of like ratty. I can't give you a good example of what it looks like, but you know, it almost kind of feels like a horror movie. That's why I said I was getting this fear of something tied to like ghost or like the nighttime nightmares or something of that nature. Because I'm also getting like the screams as well from the past. I mean, I don't know what type of facilities they may have had in the past life when it pertains to people dealing with mental health issues. Maybe they didn't do anything at all. But even in the health, that psychiatric energy could even be a simple fact of him as a female being some sort of a nurse. Get my other cards here. Yeah, I kind of figured that. Struggles with sexuality, but struggle just with identity, period. Yeah, it makes sense. Even still in this lifetime, in some type of manner, he's not fulfilling a purpose. So he may definitely repeat this life over again in some other type of capacity, but it's almost just like you keep coming back just still to not fulfill your purpose. Or he's not doing the right thing as he's trying to fulfill his purpose. So it can go one or two ways. But definitely, you see, that makes sense. This is the mind with the Gemini energy coming through. Mind, the mentality. Definitely hearing voices, even in the past life. That's probably why I was getting that type of like psychiatric hospital type of energy. Even with this number 9, we also do have, it's either dementia or it's Alzheimer's, but I feel like it's more so Alzheimer's. But there's also this dark humor that he carries as well. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm getting the energy, even through the past life cards. I'm getting the word a bigot. I mean, this almost gives me the vibe of like even getting caught, like cross-dressing in some type of a manner. It's almost like the energy of like playing dress up. But then boom, somebody catches you. Like, what are you doing? It's like, oh, I'm trying on mom's clothes. But also, even just energetically speaking, he carried over guilt from his past life as well. And even just outside of that, even if we take past life off of the board, I get a vibe where he's feeling guilty about something, but it's something tied to his daughter. I'm not sure if he has a daughter, but it's definitely something tied to his daughter that he's feeling guilty about. Something transpired at college. Again, I don't know how old his daughter is. But with masculine, well, it could be one of those things here. Of course, we're talking about energy here. So sometimes energies can come through as the opposite gender, even though you're something else. It could be the opposite. It could be the energy of possibly a son, but feminine, but energetically speaking, it's a feminine energy. And there's a regret there. Imprisonment as well. I kind of get this vibe, I kind of get this vibe where he's totally locked up his own child. It kind of comes across as this energy here where it's almost just like, I'll lock up anyone. I don't give a shit if you're my wife. If I have to lock you up, I'm going to lock you up. I mean, that's just the vibe I'm getting. He may have definitely been a lot more hardcore at this whenever he was younger. But yeah, that could be where the guilt is coming from. Almost kind of just like, why can't I stop? There definitely is something tied to suffering that he feels guilty about. It's almost like the energy here of why can't I look away when it pertains to people suffering. But that goes back to me picking up the energy when it pertains to, like I said, that oven that I'm getting where I mean, I don't know what the oven looks like whenever you're cremating a body, but it does look like that. So that's why it says like a lot of something's been done underneath his belt. But the guilt is haunting him. It's kind of weird because that could be where the nightmares are coming from. You know, because there's an injustice here to me with this Nine of Swords. But also restriction. Even in the past life, there's always been an energy for him where he's always feeling restricted. I'm getting something tied to the month of April, or there's like a female named April coming through. I feel like this is from childhood. Well, he's big. He's a big Clint Eastwood fan. Let's look at the health. Eight of Cups, yeah. Not only is it Alzheimer's, he's having kidney failure. I'm getting that. But outside of that, in his past life, he was poisoned. Or somebody gave him something that really, really affected his health. Didn't necessarily kill him, but it definitely was some sort of poison, some type of toxin. But this almost gives me, it could have just been the toxic air, because now I'm getting like coal mine, coal type of industry. So it could be one of those energies here as well, like working on the railroad, or you know what I'm saying? But it makes me think of like pollution. Oddly enough, it's giving me the vibe where he's not the one to really believe in clean energy. I mean, I just don't get that. I don't know what the story is behind that. Again, I don't know what his stance is on it, but it's coming through in his past life energy. Eight of Cups, yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, Job. This health issues may be affliction, may be based off of guilt from something that he's done in the past. I don't know how that works in the metaphysical, but for some reason I'm getting pulled to say that. Because even it kind of gives me a vibe of almost like spiritual attacks. I feel like he gets attacked spiritually a lot. But it's not just from like people that want to see him fail. No, screw that. That's light work. This is from people that has been cremated, die underneath his belt, and he turned a blind eye. It almost gives him the same vibe, like I said, when it pertains to his past life. But in one of his past lives, he was in a particular industry, like I said, where it dealt with like coal mining, gas, and stuff like that. So it wasn't outside the norm for like, you know, for like people to die. You know, it's like to him in the past life, it was like, well, shit, that's just life. Even though it could have easily been prevented. So it kind of gives him the vibe when it pertains to him, where it's almost just like, ain't no big deal. You die, whatever. You know? Even with this Eight of Cups, He needs to walk away from something. I feel like he's being given some sort of medication. Now, it may definitely be for this kidney failure, with the 8th house energy here as well. He has walked away from a lot of money. But also on the other end, 8 months, 8 to 15 months, there will be something being done on the back end, some type of payment being offered for him to walk away. It's already been offered. It's already been offered. Okay. Like a nice chunk of change. No less than 8 million, but up to 80 million has been offered. But yeah, it's not good enough. He doesn't want to take it. See, that's the thing. It gives me a vibe where he's just like, look, I'll leave. I'll move my ass from this seat if you give me something worth having. Family is not happy with him. Again, even in the past life, same difference. Family not happy with him. It gives him this vibe where he'll go days in the past life missing. You know, I don't know if he possibly did this in his present life, but it does give me that. And it got to a point where the family just like, you know what, I'm not about to keep looking for you. And I'm also getting like something about binge drinking as well. That may have been the days that he went missing in the past life. Because this kind of gives me the vibe of like the family waiting to hear. It's almost like them waiting to hear bad news. And I feel like that energy is coming through even in the present. It's almost like his family is just waiting for the phone to ring and be like, oh, well, unfortunately. So I really feel like that his health is a lot worse than what we think. That's why I feel like the family is waiting by the phone for, you know, news from the doctor or whatever to be like, okay, well, unfortunately, he didn't make it. He succumbed. Because now I just heard he succumbed to his injuries. So the health, like I said, from some type of injury, I feel like he definitely is like being like, so those spirits and stuff like that, the nightmares that he's having, you know, I definitely feel like it's almost just like he's being you know, something's coming at him. I would say someone or people are coming at him in his nightmares. You know, because I also see this energy here of like, well, definitely gibberish. Can't get his words together. It's almost like his Mercury retrogrades all the time. So it's an issue when it comes to speech impediment, speech therapy as well. He may be actually in that right now because the issues with his speech, because that's coming through too. But even with this energy here of the 8 of Cups, you know, we have Pisces, but we also do have this energy here as well of, you know, sacrifice. He's really putting his health in danger. Yeah, it's almost like I'd rather be playing golf. I really don't want to be here. However, you're not offering me what I feel like is a good deal for me to go away and for you not to hear from me. Somebody is trying to get rid of him. Like you got to go. And if you sign this, I better not even see you walk to the mailbox. Why the hell do these Madoffs keep coming up? I don't know what other reading I did. Maybe it was my predictions video. I said, maybe I may be off, but something about Madoff. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce their name. But even with the 2 of Pentacles energy here, we have the juggling. But remember, I talked about the issue with the voice. The 2 of Pentacles, second house, House of Taurus, was over their voice. That makes sense. In his past life, he didn't speak up in the past. So he's came over in this lifetime with a mission to fulfill that purpose in terms of speaking up, and not just necessarily an energy here of speaking up when it pertains to like self. It just gives me a vibe of just speaking up, period. He needs to do that to resolve karma. So it's like speaking up for other people. Of course, with the 8th house, what is that? The 8th, well, the number 8 is Saturn, isn't it? I think so. Oh yeah, number 8, that's Saturnian energy. How did his father die? It feels like whatever this health issue is that his father had, he has the same health issue. Yeah. Oh, he's barely hanging on. I'm also getting like, he may literally be underweight. So I mean, I know it may be weird. It feels like that there's something under his clothes that's like trying to fill him out in some type of manner to make it look normal. But it kind of gives him this vibe where he's like, it's like he's thinning or he's like frail in some type of manner. So there's something under there, you know, to where it doesn't become noticeable. This is almost like taking care of a baby, honestly. Ships. Okay, so we have the travel. I'm getting a magistrate. So what is that? Like judge or something like that? He actually, well, this may be energy in the current. He's on his way to talk to some sort of magistrate, some sort of judge. But the ships, there's a fear tied to water as well. Even though there's this vibe that he likes to travel. Something about the ocean, the Indian Ocean particularly. But his descendants, I don't know what direction the Indian Ocean is, but his descendants would have came over from the Indian Ocean. I mean, of course, we don't know, or let's say his ancestors. Of course, I don't know what the map looked like, what before Pangea or whatever that is happened. But this also gives me vibes of a lot of travel towards a doctor. But it's back home. Like wherever home is to him, he goes there a lot to see the doctor. But anyway, I'm really getting like the coal mining industry, which is weird, but again, even with the ship's energy being there, definitely immigrant, migrant. I'm getting something with the P. I want to say Portuguese. In terms of like lineage, ancestry, something about Portuguese is coming through. Or it may not, maybe it's not Portuguese. It could be something tied to Poland. Verify the ships. Why are the ships energy here? Ooh, okay. Seven of Swords. See what I just say? It's that running away energy. Even in the past life, is coming through very strongly. Like I said, go missing for days, months. Also, even his past life, even if we look at his past life in maybe a modern sense, he was that kid where his room was like a tornado. There's shit everywhere. You know, like untidy, unorganized. You don't know where anything is. I'm getting an English professor as well. That may have been something that he may have possibly considered doing during this lifetime, but it just didn't work out that way. He definitely has issues when it comes to diction. Is that how you say it? Diction. But yeah, that is coming through. Seven of Swords, Page of Swords, the Nine of Cups. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I'm getting a love child. I really am. Page of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. That's probably where that April came from that I was picking up. Yeah. See, this totally gives me like I said, English teacher, pharmaceuticals. That gives me the energy of the profession that's more suited for them. But even in this Page of Swords with the Seven of Swords, the energy comes through that at some point he was an informant. I am getting that. I don't know why I don't know what the purpose of being an informant was. But this makes sense as well. Even in one of his past lives, the one where I feel like that he was like, you know, in the law magistrate or something like that, he was an informant. He was an informant as well. Traveling was used as a way to go get information on other people, other leaders. Sometimes to the point where he would even like sleep with their wives or sleep with somebody that could, you know, give him the information that he's looking for. That probably could be why I was getting like something tied to a love child. Again, I don't know his life story now because, I don't know his life story now, but that's what I'm picking up. My gosh, I mean, it also gives me energy here as well. I mean, I don't know how true this is, but it's giving me the vibe that during this lifetime, he almost flunked out of school. Yeah. And also, interestingly enough, he just now got to a point where he didn't have much of a temper. He doesn't have much of a temper with his children. And I also see this energy here as well. There's a temper with children, period. It doesn't have to be his own. It's like some type of temperament when it pertains to kids. Hangman, Two of Wands, Page of Wands. Yeah, there they are. Six of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, the Hierophant, the Emperor, the Justice, and the Judge. Yep, there's the Magistrate energy that I said I was picking up. There it is. The Emperor with the Justice and the Judgment. But again, like I said, I feel like that he's came back over into this lifetime because obviously he did it wrong, which is like I said, I definitely get heavy informant type of energy. You know what? Now I just got an energy. I think he's a shapeshifter. So you have to watch those because it's easy to form into what's going to make you comfortable so that you don't see what's behind, Like I don't think snakes shapeshift, but I don't know. I just pay attention to the damn image on the card. Anyway, boo. Okay, wars and battles. See, that just makes sense what I was talking about with the ships. Being the informant type of energy, trying to get information whenever it pertains to like world leaders. He even did this in a past life. Probably didn't do this whenever he was a female because that's just too dangerous. I mean, he could have. It could have been in reverse, still doing the same thing, running away, but you're the female. So you already know it's kind of hard for guys to resist the, So, yeah. But anyway, see, there's that anger too, which is kind of like what I was picking up anyway. He has anger issues. So he may definitely be somebody where he walks quite a bit. But that definitely is because of these anger issues, serious anger issues. I mean, this is not just like, okay, I'm shutting down because you're irritating me. We're talking about rage. Yeah, it's like, yeah. And I get this vibe is like, I'm not proud of it. And again, especially when it pertains to the house of children, which is what I was picking up. When was the Battle of Fort Sumter? I don't know what year that was, but that is whatever that year was is coming through. Look at that. Yeah, their loneliness. I don't know if he was in the military. I'm not sure. Boot, yep. I feel like that's exactly what I'm getting with this Hermit. The way he's holding this lamp and the Knight of Swords. This is almost just like, what was the name of the person who... some of you guys probably know where I'm about to go with this. Whoever that person was in history who pretty much was like a snitch. I don't know if it was for the Battle of Fort Sumter or if it was for something else where they pretty much said like the British were coming. Or there was like another person where it went deeper than just yelling that. That may have been him. Or he was something like that. Because I totally get the vibe. It's almost just like I'm leading them to, the attack. I'm telling them whenever you're going to rest. I'm telling them whenever you're going to like set up camp. I'm telling them whenever your general or whatever like that is away because they're having to deal with something. So then we can attack. He's a traitor for his country. And that's exactly what I'm getting. It was in the past life. So that makes sense why coming over into this current life, he's supposed to do it correctly, but it's not really coming. Well, I mean, I don't know. This is past life energy, but just energetically speaking, it's not really coming through like he's learned his lesson. Because I also do see this vibe as well of like I mean, of course, you know, you can't really take anybody with you whenever it's time for you to like pass away. But just from what I'm getting with him, it totally does give me a vibe of like, you know, dying alone. It's kind of weird because even with the past life energy, it gives you the vibe. It's almost just like you're supposed to be alone because of your energy. You're supposed to be alone because you're a traitor. But for some reason, there's still people next to you. Now I'm getting this energy here of like he's at home and he's going to one of his kids' rooms. Again, it feels like a daughter. Or like I said, the energy, but it really feels like a daughter. But he's going into her room and she kind of gives it. It's like one of those like small little tables. You know, some of you guys that have kids, like one of those small little tables where you can put something on. And like the room it's not all the way clean, but it's clean enough. Considering the fact, I feel like she's playing with something and he comes in there and then he just like pushes it all out of the way. And it's just like, and then once he do it, it's just like, clean this shit up. I mean, that's the type of energy is coming through. It's like the anger is just not justified. It's like, where the hell did that come from? So I also do get this vibe. That could be why I'm getting the energy of him like really supposed to be alone because, you know, they just don't want to be bothered. I'm also getting something tied to hospice. So I mean, it could possibly happen in this lifetime. How old is he? I mean, I'm getting 84. Could happen before that, honestly. 84, 2024. It's weird. I've been getting something about the GI Bill. I don't know if he's gonna, I would hope not. Or there may just be something coming out pertaining to that, but that was weird. Booyah, that makes sense. It's almost like, please, Lord, forgive me for my sins. For I am not worthy. But yeah, I keep doing the same shit. He uses his anger as an excuse. And then he turns around and wants to offer his forgiveness. This guy is a traitor. I mean, like I said, this guy's a traitor. Definitely. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Especially, like I said, the sneaking off in the night, you know, the going to different places, coming back. Very calculating. Clarify the forgiveness. Yeah, it's almost like you wait too late to want to rectify, to right your wrongs. And by that time, it's, you know, the bucket has been kicked. But see, this is the issue. In this lifetime, he's supposed to work on forgiveness. He's supposed to work on being nicer. But this is an energy of, it's almost like, I don't care. I don't care if you don't forgive me. The Death card. You know, it's one of those things as well where it may take death to like change him. And it could be death in terms of somebody close to him. But even still, I feel like even still, that's going to be a tough hill to climb. Yep. Because it's almost like his transformation is tied into forgiveness. If he would tackle this, his transition, I feel like will be easy. But now it's coming through where it's almost like it's going to be painful. But I just really feel like he's going through pain right now because of these health issues. Who is this girl? Again, this is for entertainment purposes only. So please take this with a grain of salt. I feel like that somebody died. It's a female. Could be that April person that I picked up. Excuse me, now I'm getting Savannah. Or she was born in Savannah. Or that's where she lived. I'm getting like a college student. Or like a student. I know I keep tapping, but it's like, you know, the message is coming through. So I'm trying to make noise so that I can get it all. Yeah. Like Savannah. Interesting. the Queen of Wands. In most of the tarot decks I have, the Queen of Wands has like all, olive skin. So this could definitely be somebody who is not of the same descent as him. But I'm telling you, it's like this person died under his thumb. I'm not going to say literally, because this is entertainment purposes. That's what's haunting him too. So it's not just the other people that he feels guilty for. There's one person in particular where it's haunting him big time. Booyah. Thank you. Leaving or traveling. Again, identity issues are coming through. There's that railroad energy I was picking up before. I forgot what card it was. But abandonment issues too. That's where the anger comes from. It comes from people abandoning him. But the anger is in retaliation, not retaliation. The anger is out of fear that you're going to abandon him. So then, does something stupid to make sure that you don't. I'm not even going to lie. I don't know what planets he has, but this kind of gives me the vibe. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Venus in the 12th house can sometimes have an issue when it pertains to dealing with partners who try to harm themselves if you try to leave. He gives me that type. He comes across as that type. If you leave, then I'm going to do this to myself. Clarify leaving or traveling. Something tied to FedEx could be coming up. I wouldn't say soon. Clarify leaving or traveling. Ooh. Okay. 3 of Cups. Emperor. And the High Priestess. Well, there's the educated woman right there. I was gonna say that when I said something about the love child, that it came early on in their relationship. So that's where the leaving or traveling comes into play, because this educated woman was going to leave him, because we definitely have a birth announcement or something of that nature. But this happened, like I said early on. Okay. But even outside of that, this kind of gives me the vibe of being in the good graces of somebody in power, because you're set out on some sort of a mission. Like the energy here of leaving your family behind. Maybe I'm just, it kind of gives me the energy here. Like I said, I'm not sure who his father was, but this energy coming through, the popularity is based off of his father. I don't know what his father did, but it's based off his father, not him, because I almost get this vibe where he's not really supposed to be in the spotlight like that. It just doesn't give me that energy. This is something that's strictly there because dad did it, or because you need to continue forward with this because I had a good reputation and you need to move on to finish it, because he wasn't able to do something. So it's pretty much, okay, I want to please my dad, so I want to do what they weren't able to do, even though I really get a lot of resentment here. And that could also be why this particular woman wanted to be kind of done with it too. Not because of the baby, but I feel like that she may have wanted to be secretly done. By the way, this baby is giving me Mississippi for some reason. But anyway, that could be one of the reasons why she wanted to leave as well, because it's too much, even for her. Because to me, the high priestess in a way can be a little bit of a recluse. And I only say that because of that dark side. She balances her dark and light energies a lot better than the emperor. But even with that being said, it doesn't really mean that she's not like the empress. The empress, she gonna commingle. She's good like that, you know. She's the empress. But the high priestess, she's kind of just like, she seems shy to me and introverted. She's extroverted when she has to be, but majority of the time it's like, I'm introverted and I really don't want to be bothered. Yes. Georgia. The arts. I'm shocked. Musically inclined. I feel like like I said before, as far as he was supposed to go, I'm totally getting governor or just like, you know, good position in the military. Not as far as he went. I'm just going to be honest with you. Nuh-uh. That totally went against the mission he had from his past life. It was like he couldn't help himself. Too busy trying to please Father. Verify the arts. It's weird. Didn't I say I feel like he's a big Clint Eastwood fan? Is Joe Biden invested in some type of art, media, or music company? I feel like he is. This is hidden though. You may not be able to find this. It could definitely be under alias or LLC. Which is very interesting because I would have not expected that. But whatever, you know. But even with the Eight of Cups and the Devil, the Roaring 20s. When was he born? Something about the Roaring 20s is coming up because even with that Devil and the Eight of Cups, that gives me not only sexual frustration, but that gives me somebody who's very handsy, if you get my drift. When the hell was he born? Because I'm really getting the Roaring 20s. He was born in 1942. Okay, that's the closest time period that we got here of his past life, the Roaring 20s. Anyway. He can't tame his demons, his dark side. It's just too strong sometimes. Ugh, can you stop? Ugh. There's like this thing that he does with his tongue. It's very awkward. I didn't even want to tell you what I saw, but it just even made me feel uncomfortable. That's why I was like, ugh, my God. It makes me very, very uncomfortable. Lovers. Yeah. Complacency. But speaking of that Emperor and the High Priestess, I'm gonna be honest. They together for business, not really for love. Because that's just the vibe I get from those two combinations. I mean, you know, even though it may say divine feminine, and I only say that because, you know, think about the Emperor. The Emperor wants to be in charge. You know, with the High Priestess, it's almost just like, look, buddy, I can do exactly what the fuck you do, if not better. And he feels threatened by that. So that's why I say I sometimes, I get vibes when it comes to that combination that they not necessarily bad for each other, but that's a difficult relationship. It's not really much of a relationship. It's more like a business type of situation. It's like my family picked you. Arranged marriage. That's what I'm getting. He may be in an arranged marriage. Because there's a lot of complacency here. So it's almost like this energy here where it's like, I have to make this work. They've tried to walk away from each other before. Yeah. Live separately too. They may, okay, yeah. They may have even possibly lived separately up until they came to the White House. It's possible. We have the spouse. How long I've been up? 44 minutes. Jesus Christ. Clarify the spouse energy. What is the spouse energy here? So, eventually married in a past life, but married to a musician. A rocker. A rocker. That's probably why I get the roaring 20s. So there's the marriage. What'd I say? This is business. He owns businesses. You know? Can you say clout? Probably not. But yeah, it feels like that. This would be a fire or an earth. 8 of Wands, 10 of Cups, Ace of Swords. Yeah, it just makes sense. It just made sense at that point. You know, it doesn't really give me the vibe. But also there's this energy here. It's coming across where for him, it's almost just like, well, she understands that dark side of me. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Because it totally gives me business. I don't know if he's been married 3 times, but I kind of get this vibe where he was supposed to be married 3 times. See, didn't I talk about the loneliness? Monk or nun. But this also gives me a vibe of a very spiritual spouse. The spouse may be the one that drives him to be more adamant about spirituality, religion, even though I really don't get that vibe that that's really him. But anyway, because the spouse gives me a vibe like coming from a church-going family. Clarify monk or nun. Ooh, Ace of Wands. Does he carry prayer beads? He may. 4 of Wands, Ace of Swords. Look at that. He's hard to live with, though. Four of Wands. I don't know the backstory of why him and what's his name got married. But like I said, it feels like an arranged marriage. It's not one of, it doesn't really give me the vibe of love. You know, well, you know, it turned into that, but that wasn't the case at all. 4 of Wands. He feels trapped even right now inside of a house with the Ace of Wands. Tired of asking for permission in a way to leave. Well, can I do this? Can I do that? Which could possibly make sense because I guess when he was possibly vice president, it wasn't really so, you know, rules, but you got rules, you know? So I told you, I feel like he was supposed to be in public service. But the public, you know, because of course this is legacy or what his family wanted him to do. But I don't feel like he was supposed to go any further than the governor. Because again, he had to make right, or he had to serve up his karma in a way this lifetime when it pertains to what he did in his past life. I don't really feel like he has that good of a relationship with one of his children. It's very, very strained. But I feel like that's because of his anger. Yeah. Oh, it's probably his son. He's trying to, yeah. Ooh. Addiction, maybe. I mean, probably found this one passed out drunk at some point. Probably even in the home several times. But it kind of gives it this vibe. I don't know why I'm getting this energy when it pertains to the home. Is almost just like, oh, you can do it as long as you make sure it's at home. So I get a lot of energy here of like, you know, heavy drinking or something, some type of addiction that's happening at home. But it's like, oh, it's okay. Yeah, it's ass backwards for real. He wants to go back to his old life. Yeah. But he can't. Like I said, he's trapped. But it's trapped in a sense where it's almost just like, you know, it's not time. For some reason. It's like a time limit on what he's doing. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Let's just say there's going to be interesting change by way of an air sign woman coming when Jupiter goes. Where's Jupiter at right now? Ooh, that's a while from now, isn't it? Did Jupiter just, okay, hold on. Jupiter position right now. I don't know where it's at today. What kind of, I guess it's in Capricorn. I thought it was in Aquarius, but anyway. When does Jupiter go to... Okay, I go for it. Okay. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so could be August 2023. Okay, but also 10 to 18 months, there's gonna be something interesting that's gonna be happening. I'm not gonna spill the beans. Something tied to a car, car community riot rally. I know that's probably a little bit all over the place, but I'm just saying. There you go. And finally, yeah, finally the money's gonna come through, but it won't be today. Yeah. That's interesting. Anyway, so this has been a reading. I've carried on too long. This has been the past life reading. It felt more like a current. But anyway, this has been the past life reading when it pertains to Joe Biden. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you later.